Hey YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Zillow and Chill. Today's drink is going to be a Safeway Signature Select Diet Ginger Ale. Because it's 2 days after Thanksgiving and I've had enough alcohol. So with that, let's get to the chill position. Alright, just kicked the dog in the head. I feel really bad about that one. And today's theme is going to be a little bit different. What we're going to be focused on is actually the oldest home I could possibly find. After my last video of the house that was built in, I believe it was 1683, I decided I wanted to search the internet and see what's the oldest house I can find on Zillow. I started digging through articles. Here's one from Realtor.com of a house built in 1650. Get to a list from Architectural Digest. It's got a house in here built 1684. 5-bed, 4-bath, 5,600 square feet. We're gonna have to come back to that one. That information's interesting. Finally, I land on this article from 24/7 Wall Street. 406 Swedesboro Road, built in 1638. This home in Greenwich Township, New Jersey, was built nearly 400 years ago, making it not just the oldest home put up for sale in 2021, but also the oldest log cabin in the Western Hemisphere that is still standing. Constructed in 1638, the log home is on the National Register of Historic Sites. It also features an attached colonial home built a century later. That's crazy. 1638. To give you some context on that one, the signing of the Declaration of Independence was 138 years later. That's that whole 1776 thing. Yeah. 138 years later. So whoever built the original log cabin never even got to see the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Their kids may not have even lived long enough to see that. Absolutely fascinating. So let's get to the Zillow listing here. So they do show it was sold a month ago for $135,000. Now that seems really cheap. And I'm not sure what's going on with the price history here, but it was originally listed in 2017 for $2.9 million. There's no sale on it. You've got price change, removed, for sale, removed, for sale, removed, all the way until it was sold for $135,000. That is 5% or 1/20th of the original price. Someone, if you understand what's going on there, please explain in the comments, because I'm really curious how something can drop to 5% of its original value. If I can get that kind of deal on any real estate, I'm pouncing on it. So let's get to the pictures, and while I'm looking at the pictures, I will actually read some information from the Wikipedia article on this. Alright, the C.A. Northangle log home, also known as the Brahmin Northangle log home, is a historic house on Swedesboro-Paulsboro Road in Gibbstown, New Jersey, and is one of the oldest log houses in the United States. It's actually the oldest, not one of. The older part of the home was built somewhere between 1638 and 1643 by Finnish or Swedish settlers in the colony of New Sweden. Nordic ironware from the 1590s is still existent around the fireplace. The fireplace was probably built of bricks brought to America as ship's ballast. To give you some information on that, since we're getting really, really old here, I had to look up some information on bricks. And I found an article that says what's definitively known is that New England manufactured the first brick kiln in 1629 in the city of Salem, Massachusetts. After the establishment of the first colonies, settlers recognized the demand for brick manufacturing in the U.S. This is how the first facilities for the mass production of bricks were created in Albany, New York, Trenton, and Burlington, New Jersey. So these bricks could have come over as ballast on the bottom of a ship, or if they were manufactured here in the United States, that was a brand new technology available to the settlers at that time. And here's your 1590s Nordic ironware. Absolutely fascinating. That is old. The original cabin measures 16 by 22 feet, which indicates that the builders were relatively well off. An average size dwelling of the period was 12 by 12. So that an extra 4 feet goes a long way. It's built of oak logs, and 2 logs were removable to provide ventilation in the summer. The logs were double dovetailed to provide a close fit, and gravel was pounded between the chunks in the logs for insulation. No nails were used in the original construction. Hardwood pegs were used as fasteners. There's no ridge pole in the roof. People lived in this part of the house until 1918. So the construction of it's quite fascinating. The fact that there's not a single nail anywhere in the structure. It's all pegs. Large addition was constructed in the early 18th century. Wood floors were built over the original dirt floor around 1730. So this floor is around 1730, would have been dirt back when it was built. The house was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1976 and is still privately owned. The cabin is open for tours and appointments through the owner, Doris Rink, who resides in the adjoining structure. The information as far as Doris Rink may be a little outdated since this has been sold. But that's the history of this log cabin. Really, really fascinating. And here we get to pictures of the colonial home with it. And they don't list a single picture of the colonial home. It's all just that log cabin. And you can see where the colonial home meets the log cabin, and even a little bit of an addition going on here too off the back of the original log cabin. It's interesting about the bricks, because when I first looked through this, I wondered if that chimney had been replaced at some point in time, because the bricks look too uniform for something built in 1638, but I could be wrong. If the first brick kiln was built, well, you're talking 9 years earlier in Salem, Massachusetts, it's very possible that that's the original brick chimney. Absolutely crazy. Here we get to the plaque. This property is registered on the National List of Historic Sites by the U.S. Department of Interior, built 1638 to 1643. Harry L. and Doris A. Rink, current owners. And here you can see the double dovetail construction. And the last few pictures show some of the modern buildings that are left with it. Which, by the way, this is a 4-car garage with a machine shop, so I could live here, no problem. Absolutely fascinating piece of history here. Let's get to the satellite view of it, because there's something really, really neat you might want to see. Yeah, I always like satellite view. So here we are. Here's this cabin built 385 years ago, 1638. And it's within walking distance of a Taco Bell, Rite Aid, Dollar General, AutoZone, Family Dollar, and of course a Dunkin', because it's the Northeast. I'm from Colorado. I was amazed when I went to Boston for the first time how many Dunkins I ran into. So I had to make a quick joke about that. With where this is located, if we zoom out, for those of us who don't know much about the Northeast or the area, look how close it is in proximity to Philadelphia. I mean, back in 1638, that's not exactly a day drive. That's quite the trek. But it's still very, very close to where the Declaration of Independence was actually signed for this country. And the fact that it was built 138 years before the signing of the Declaration of Independence, the original builder of that did not obviously see the signing of the Declaration. And it's possible their kids didn't either. You're talking maybe 3rd generation in of that property being around before anyone saw the signing of the Declaration of Independence. That's how old this property is. So pretty neat. 406 Swedesboro Road in Gibbstown, New Jersey. Hopefully the new owners keep it open to the public for viewings. I wouldn't mind going and seeing it someday. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. If you can think of a theme for any future videos, please put it in the comments. I do read every single one of the comments. And if you've got a drink selection, just so long as it's caffeine free and fit for human consumption, let me know in the comments and I'll check it out. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.